gentlemen, to another broadcast of Jerusalem's Gate. I hope you enjoyed the breaking news report yesterday about Syria bombing or perhaps Russia bombing Turkey's convoy. Some hot news that came out yesterday. Got some more troublesome news. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it's just so much happening. Now, the United States just test fired a land-based cruise missile out of California. And that missile was a previously banned missile on the INF Treaty that Reagan and Gorbachev signed back in the 80s. I think 87, if memory serves me right. But August 2nd, President Trump withdrew from the INF Treaty, blaming Russia for developing missiles that banned the treaty. Also, because it kind of tit for tat. Got a lot to cover. Got a video to show you the actual missile being launched. One thing before we get started, I do apologize for the lighting. That's kind of like an art form. I mean, we're a small operation. We're trying to get the lighting right, so please bear with us. But let's get busy. We got a lot to cover. Okay, let's get here. U.S. fired off a previously banned missile, the first since the collapse of a Cold War-era nuclear arms pact with Russia. Okay, and there's a picture of that bad boy right there. And you'll see a video after we go over these articles. You'll see a video. Let's read a paragraph. The U.S. military conducted its first flight test of a ground launched a cruise missile in a test that would have been banned before the recent collapse of a Cold War-era nuclear arms agreement with Russia. And that was signed in the 1987 Intermediate Range Nuclear Force Treaty that Reagan signed with Gorbachev. But we just test fired it, and there again is a picture of it, and you'll see a video after this. Got so much to cover, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, the scriptures, like I said yesterday, the scriptures are absolutely being revealed to us every day in the news. And now with this missile being tested, it's got China and Russia concerned, and says that the United States is stoking tensions, which we'll go over. But didn't you like, not to interrupt her halfway or anything, but didn't you like Ronald Reagan? Who would ever have thought an actor from California would be one of the greatest presidents ever? I love that man. I tell you, I loved Ronald Reagan. Okay, out of Reuters. Russia accuses U.S. of stoking tensions with missile tests. And that's coming out of Reuters. Let's read a little of it. Moscow. Russia accused the United States on Tuesday of stoking military tensions by testing a ground-launched cruise missile, but said it would not be drawn into an arms race. Of course they will not go into an arms race. They learned their lesson with the Cold War era. Ronald Reagan outspent the USSR and bankrupted them. That Ronald Reagan and Margaret Thatcher won the Cold War. And that's just the facts of reality. Okay, and it's got some very interesting. Here we go. Now, Russia and China blast U.S. missile tests. Now here, this is so very important. Russia and China are getting together. They both accuse the United States of stoking tensions. Okay, Russia and China is trying to get their grasp on Venezuela in South America, very close to the United States. Some people think that China and Russia wants their natural resources. Maybe a little, but the main thing is, I personally believe, is to get the missiles there. Once they get their foothold and grasp on Venezuela, is to place missiles there. The whole key of future military logistics is getting the missiles as fast, the fastest missiles possible and closest to the target. That's what countries are trying to do right now. Doesn't it sound like I'm in my mid-50s? Doesn't it sound like the Cuban Missile Crisis? But it's happening in Venezuela. Listen what I'm saying. I'm nobody special. You don't have to be a military strategist to figure it out. China and Russia are going to put, I guarantee you, my own personal opinion now, I believe they're going to put missiles once they get the complete grasp of Venezuela. Venezuela is extremely important. Extremely important. Okay, let's see here. Okay. Now this is extremely interesting. This is coming out of CNN. China could overwhelm U.S. in military first strike, Australian report says. Huh. Let's read a little bit of it. The U.S. military is no longer the primary force in Asia. Powerful sentence. And missiles from China's rapidly improving military could overwhelm its bases in hours, according to new reports. The study by the United States Studies Center at the University of Sydney in Australia warned that America's defense strategy in the Indo-Pacific region is in the throes of an unprecedented crisis and could struggle to defend its allies against China. The allies being Australia, Japan, and other U.S. partners. Now, ladies and gentlemen, China is building up their military, all branches of military, at an unprecedented pace. I mean, they are building aircraft carriers. They're building every branch of government. They're building. Their leaders are saying, prepare, prepare, prepare. You got to prepare. And they're building up their military and spending tons of money. And some people may say, well, where is China getting all this money to build a military to soon surpass us? Well, next time you go to the store or next time you buy something, look and see where it's made. And most of the time it's made in China. China's getting the money to grow their forces to our level to defend themselves against us, or we defend ourselves against them. But anyway, they're getting their money to build up their military from mainly us. Isn't that a quagmire? That's a quagmire. But I got a video. Hey, thanks for tuning in. And the video's coming up next. It's from Airing News, I believe. If we do not make no money at Jerusalem's Gate, we're a non-profit channel. But one thing we do ask a favor is that you subscribe. If you like it, hit the like button and hit the notification bell for future broadcasts and future sermons. And that's the best way to help us, since we are a non-profit Christian news network and channel. It helps the reason being, it helps get the video to more people. I'm not a YouTube expert, but that's what I kind of figured over the years. But anyway, here comes the video. God bless you. We love you.
The U.S. has conducted the first test of a ground-launched cruise missile since its exit from the Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty earlier this month. The Pentagon said on Monday that the test missile was launched from San Nicolas Island in California on Sunday local time and accurately hit its target after more than 500 kilometers of flight. The missile test would have been in violation of the INF Treaty, but Washington withdrew from the 1987 agreement with Moscow earlier this month. Exiting the treaty, the U.S. accused Russia of violating the pact, which the Kremlin has denied.